Today on the Center of It All, we'll take you inside the 95th Pennsylvania Farm Show featuring an interview with the Secretary of Agriculture. And the famous groundhog himself, Punxsutawney Phil, moves into the 21st century. Our friends at the Electric Playground review some of the coolest new games of 2011. And our resident chef, Melanie Prosciutti, cooks up a spicy stir-fry perfect for the whole family. Coming up next on the Center of It All. Hello and welcome to the Center of It All. I'm Tara Berardi. The Pennsylvania Farm Show is the largest indoor agricultural event in America. And Jed Donahue spoke to the Secretary of Agriculture, Russell Redding, about the importance of farming in our state.
Well, another farm show. How exciting is this event to be like the Ag Secretary? And here's the signature event for the whole state right here.
It all comes together this week. This is sort of the Super Bowl of agriculture. So if you can be the Secretary when you've got 95 years of history in a show, and an opportunity to sort of bring all these folks together to touch agriculture, to visit agriculture, it's just a great moment in history.
Well, the other thing, you visit all the venues, but, these are generations of generations here in Pennsylvania. How important is it to try and keep that tradition going? And, farming is so important. We got to eat.
We've got to eat. We eat 3 times a day. Most of us in this Commonwealth are, not actively engaged, don't need to worry about, going out and getting up early and worrying about all the weather issues and markets and such. But we're very fortunate to have 63,000 farms in the state that do that. It's critically important to us. It's been a great part of our heritage. But we want to make sure through the work of the show and the investments we make throughout the year that agriculture remains a vital part of our future. So you've got this great balance between looking back and looking forward, and that's really what this show is about.
What's interesting, I think I heard you quoted recently as saying 2% of the people feed 98%, which is pretty staggering.
It is staggering. You think about it, you have 2% of our nation's population involved in direct production agriculture, and 98% of those folks are, the other 98 are consumers. But keep in mind that really about 1%, a little over 1% produce the majority of all of the food that we eat in this nation. So you have this equal number of folks who defend us in our military, about 1%, and an equal 1% that's feeding us. So I think there's a great contrast between those who protect us and those who feed us.
What exciting new technology may there be the future? Talk a little bit about what's down the road or something exciting that maybe we don't know about.
Well, I think the horizon we're on right now is sort of the energy horizon, right? Everyone's talking about independence, but it takes a lot of technology, a lot of ingenuity to really bring that product to a point of having some market capacity. We're excited about the energy opportunities, whether it be in the biodiesel, the solar array, the wind, all of those I think are opportunities for agriculture. In addition to that, I think the production of food generally, we have a population today of about 6.2 billion people in the world. That's going to grow to 9 billion people in about 40 years. We're going to do it with less land, less water, and less energy. So you're going to need to employ every stitch of technology you can to feed this growing world. That's going to come out of agriculture somewhere.
So education type programs, obviously with what you just said, is going to be imperative that, new technologies and knowledge of that.
Knowledge is key. Knowledge has brought us here, and I think the show gives those in production agriculture a chance to sort of, look around a little bit. Look at the companies that are developing new products. How are they using them? How do the farmers take them back and employ them into their own operations? Talk to people about their experiences with a particular product. Find out what's new. That's really the venue that we create here at the Farm Show.
Final question for you. What's the biggest issue you think that's out there right now as we move forward?
I think the biggest issue remains one of, how do we sustain this agricultural economy? Listen, this is a tough business, to make money at, and to have folks gainfully employed and engaged in production agriculture. We know we've got to do it, but making money at that really, I think, is the #1 concern that we have. Economic viability is the issue. We've got to be thinking about new products, new markets, having a consumer public appreciate what it is we have in the business of agriculture. And I think trying to educate them while we have them here during the week. This is as close as many of them will come to touching agriculture in the course of the year. They do it 3 times a day at the refrigerator to table, but we need them to really understand who's behind all of that good food that we enjoy throughout the year. That's the value of Farm Show.
Thanks, Jed. Coming up, our favorite groundhog does more than just predict the weather. Don't go away.